Czy masz odwagę powiedzieć żonom, dziś stałem tam, gdzie stało domo?
Hi guys, welcome. As you know, I love Dell laptops, Dell computers, and before I had some Xiaomi, I had also Toshiba, I had also many other brands, Asus, but from my point of view, Dell has really great laptops, especially in Inspiron and Latitude series. And they have really good chargers for them because they don't overheat, they don't have any problems, they don't make short circuits, so they will not burn your motherboard in your computer. Before I had Asus A55VM. It was in 2016, 2016, and it had i7 3610QM. This i7 third generation with 8 GB of RAM. Two modules for DDR3 modules, 2 modules with 4 GB, so that's 8 GB in the total. And I use 1 TB Samsung SSD drive setup. And this computer had the GeForce, I don't remember, GeForce GTX 500 or 600, I don't remember exactly, but it was pretty great. The only problem was that original power supply, original charger overheats when I use software for video post-production like Adobe Premiere, DaVinci. It overheated and it was a problem. It was great, but it overheated. I used 90 watts power supply and it overheated. I had to change it, and I've seen that they use 19.5 volts. So I've decided to take a charger from a Dell, 130 volts Dell charger, and just change the cable with a plug. So I use a old cable with a plug from Acer power supply, and I use Dell. I had to open it, solder the cable, and glue it together back. But I use the Dell charger with Acer computer. The only important thing is that you need to have the same volts. The amperage needs to be higher. So, and it was really pretty great. Then I've moved to a Dell Inspiron in 2017 when I lived in London. I've bought in a Carriage PC World new i7 6700HQ. It was i7 6th generation Skylake. Pretty great computer with 16 GB of RAM, and I've moved the hard drive from old one there, so it was pretty great. Pretty great computer. Then after I was released from the custody, I've taken Xiaomi Mi Notebook Pro, and the only problem with that was that the battery overheated and there was a problem with the battery. It was charged by the USB Type-C power delivery charger, 66 watts, 20 volts, 3.3 amps, and then I had two NVMe drives there, NVMe SSD drives, 1 TB each, Intel i7 10510U with 4 cores, 8 threads, with 16 GB of soldered DDR4 RAM. And then I've moved to Dell Latitude 5490 with i7 8th generation. It was a 8650U with 4 cores, 8 threads, and 32 GB of RAM in two 16 GB modules, DDR4. And then I had one M2 NVMe slot for 1 TB of SSD. Pretty great. And the computer needs a 90 watts power supply. I've used Dell 240 watts power supply with 19.5 volt and almost 12 amps. really big charger. But the thing is that if you use when you want to replace your charger with another one, you need to make sure that it's the same plug and the volts are the same. The amps needs to be at least the same amperes or higher. It's important. And why I decided to take such big power supply, the reason is that it was designed to have 240 watts, 12 amps. So with a huge power, it will not overheat. If I use that at 90 watts with about 5 amps, the heating system is designed to give more power than I use. So it was really great heating in that situation, to cooling, and was no problem with the cooling that power supply, and it was pretty great. But here we have a review of a new laptop, Dell Latitude 5401. And what is the difference? The thing is that you can think that it's 5401 and 5490. So the higher number 90 will be newer computer than that with a smaller number. No, it's not that way at all. It's not that way at all. The 5401 is newer than 5490, and the difference is really important. But go to 5401. In this new 5401, we have 14-inch display, and we have Intel i7 9th generation 9850H processor. So it's i7 with 6 cores and 12 threads. We have 2 slots for DDR4 RAM modules, and in factory only the first slot is occupied by the 8 GB module. The second slot is empty. Here I have upgraded it to a 2 16GB modules, so I have 32 GB total RAM memory, and I have upgraded the SSD. The original was Samsung 870 modules with 256 gigs capacity, and it was NVMe generation 3. I decided to change it to SP Silicon generation 4 NVMe generation 4 with a 1 terabyte of capacity, so always 4 times more, and this is really great, 1 terabyte of capacity. So I had to upgrade RAM, I had to upgrade SSD drive, and I had to upgrade that charger. The original charger was 130 watts with 19.5 volts, and I've decided to change this 130 watts power supply to 240 watts, which is almost twice bigger, just because of cooling of the heat pipe system inside, because I use computer mostly for video post-production, so it's important to have a good heating, to cool the cooling system, that everything in the power supply will work for a very long time, even if I make videos for many hours. So it's a very important thing. And I use, of course, Windows 11 Pro for workstation. The great operating system, everything works perfectly. I decided to get a Dell because I wanted something with i7 processor, which is not with more performance than my old one. I wanted 32 gigs of RAM. I've wanted 14-inch display, not 15.6, not 17 huge display. I wanted 14-inch display because it's very comfortable, portable, and it works great. What was the reason for that? The most important thing. Now, I've used that 5490 at home with i7 8th generation with 4 cores and 8 threads, and it was enough for a video post-production, even at 4K. The thing is that I was looking some small computer for a travel, something I can take with me. I don't have to use the main one all the time. When I'm at home, I make a post-production on Intel Nude with also i7 8th generation on Intel Nude. Just Intel Nude is really great for a video post-production. But I've decided that I don't want to take my laptop all the time with me, so I need a second one in a good price. So I've decided to buy some used one. 2-3 computer where I will change the RAM, I will change SSD drive, I will change the power supply, and everything will work. But I've looked at the i7 processor, Dell Latitude with i7 from the 9th generation with 6 cores, 12 threads is available at a very good price. So the thing is that I've decided that the new computer with 6 cores will be the main one, and the old one will be changed for a travel one. Simple thing: buy a new one, change drive and memory, new power supply, make configuration of the system for my computer. Then, when everything works, take the old one, change configuration for a travel, some additional software and things like that, and everything will work. And from my point of view, it's a really great offer, because when you have a second computer to use on a travel, when you want to make some short post-production of a daily vlog of something what you need to do on a travel, then you can go for a longer travel, longer trips than usual, because you have a computer with you. Second thing, if it is small and it will be destroyed on a travel, you don't risk anything because you have the main computer at home. So this is something second for a travel. So it was a generally good idea. And when it's at 14 inch, it's not very heavy. You can take with you in your laptop bag with you. On the aircraft, when you are on a plane, you have the main check-in luggage already checked in. You have only carry-on luggage, and you have personal item, and you have a one small suitcase for a carry-on luggage, but you have also a laptop bag as a personal item, so you can take it with you, and you can do many things. It wouldn't be possible if you don't take a computer with you. So this is a very important thing, and that one will be really great. Dell Latitude 5401, really great, 14 inch i7, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of SSD. My recommendation.
Ty co kobiety chciałbyś zniewolić, pozbawić chciałbyś niewolnej woli. Rządzie biskupie, do was to mówię, wstydzi się was dziś kraj. Nie płaczcie siostry, ducha nie traćcie, uwierzcie w naszą wygraną w walce. Uwierzcie w to, że już niedługo piękniejszy będzie kraj.